All right, we are going to go ahead and get started. It is 2 p.m. My name is Lauren Matuzzo, and I'm going to be the moderator for today's webinar. We're going to really get into the nitty-gritty of HeinOnline and what it could do for your institution. We do have chat options open, as most of you have been utilizing to drop your state or location. So please feel free to utilize the chat box for any questions you might have, and we'll address those as we go along. So without further ado, I am going to pass this along.
So hi, my name's Steve Roses, and all I can say here is a little bit of a new format here. So buckle up, you're going to have fun. We're going to take you on this ride to appreciating HeinOnline and all the possibilities therein. And a little bit of background about myself. I've worked with academic libraries for almost 30 years now. Of course, I started when I was 5, but nevertheless, it's still a long run, even though I started as a toddler. And so I started with Thomson Reuters, and I've been with the Hein Company since 2009. And so I've worked with many of you or friends of yours, if not you yourself. So I'm very pleased to be here. I'm joined here by my colleague, Tim Hoagie.
Hi, everyone. For those of you that I have spoken with in the past, welcome. Thank you for coming. For those of you that are new to our webinars, again, welcome. And I hope that we can provide you some great information. Like Steve, I've worked for Hein for quite a few years. I've actually just celebrating my 16th year here this week. And it's been I've had a great opportunity to work in many different areas and departments of the company. So this webinar today, what we're going to be talking about, first of all, I just want to remind you, we're going to be sticking to right around our 30-minute mark, so it shouldn't go too long for you, and I hope you all can stay for the whole thing. Some of the things we're going to be talking about today are, what is HeinOnline and why is it so popular? What are some of the consortia that we work with, and how could those potentially save you money in subscribing to HeinOnline?
And we
what are the different
reasons? Let you know how HeinOnline can fit into your curriculum.
Yeah.
We will cover that.
And what are some of the different resources and other content that are available in HeinOnline? How the content is applicable across multiple academic disciplines that may or may not be offered within your institution. And then finally, we're going to address some of the different myths that we have heard from different institutions that they believe are true about HeinOnline, but are absolutely not true.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead with a poll before we jump in.
Yes, and here is poll question number 1. What brought you to our webinar today? Now select all that can apply, and I'm going to read them to you. There could be more than one, so don't just pick one. Select all that apply. So the first one is looking to add databases to our library. The second one is looking to replace Lexis/West. Third one is heard about HeinOnline from a colleague. Fourth one is I'm here for the webinar incentive. And the last one, the HeinOnline sales reps are awesome. So please,
I expect that one to be the greatest contribution.
And keep in mind that we're still expecting that, even though Tim and I ourselves cannot vote.
It is growing.
So we're expecting you to pull in with that one, but don't let us influence your answers.
All right, we'll give everyone about 20 more seconds. We still got some people answering here.
Sorry.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Okay, so the greatest answers to your question, what brought you to our webinar today? The big 50% of you said looking to add databases to our library. Another 50% said heard about HeinOnline from a colleague, which those are great things. And of course, also big answers on I'm here for the webinar incentive. Certainly appreciate that. And 18% said looking to replace Lex or West. Some of you may be even looking to replace both Lexis and West, but we can explore that another time. And then another answer, the HeinOnline sales reps are awesome, which 39%, considering we didn't vote, we're pretty happy with that.
We didn't come in last, so I'm happy.
So let's give you details about this giveaway. There is a giveaway incentive that you are eligible for. So it's, there's going to be a winner. It's not, you have to stay to the end, and then a winner is selected of one of the people that stays to the end. You'll win the winner will get a $500 catered lunch for their library. The winner will be randomly selected following the demo. You'll be notified by email if you're the winner, and funds will be provided directly to the winning account for use for that catered lunch of your choosing. So please be aware of that. So let us take you to the next slide, which we already did, which says, what is HeinOnline? And let me tell you some of the key attributes of the HeinOnline difference. You should know that HeinOnline is image-based. So when you're looking at HeinOnline, there are even some color images. It looks just like a print work would. However, not only is it image-based PDFs, every document's fully searchable. You're looking at a facsimile of the print counterpart, but it's fully searchable. You can send it, change it to regular text whenever you're looking for. And of course, you have all the original authoritative paginization, or pagination, I should say. Now, what else? HeinOnline is not just about law. It's not just about government. It's not just about politics. It's multidisciplinary. And that's a key difference we're going to go back to. HeinOnline's multidisciplinary, which really makes us different from many of the databases that are out there, including some of the ones we've named. Also, HeinOnline, by the way, and when we're talking multidisciplinary, we're talking about 3,200 multidisciplinary journals alone, but 1,500 different subjects. And intuitive, it's intuitive in that it works the way you work. You can go from one collection to another seamlessly. You can go hypertext link from one type of format to another. And we have everything curated by humans as well as backed up by machine learning. And we have many intuitive tools, and some of them use AI, and we'll get into that as well. And we should also say the final item is covered by a chat. Ooh, there it is. It's affordable. How could I leave that out? HeinOnline is extremely affordable. There is simply, I can't think of a database out there that has the kind of level of content, the ease of use, and is so darn inexpensive. And so that when people hear how inexpensive we are, they're very surprised. But you can ask people who already subscribe. HeinOnline is very, very inexpensive and affordable. You should know that we work with many consortia. Another way that we keep the prices quite reasonable for you, and another way we work the way you work. So what are some of the consortia we work with? Well, Lyricist, for example, you got Galileo. The bottom line is that we're all over the country. Skelk in the West, you name it, various consortia in the East, Galileo in Georgia, places like Mobius and Wills. So OhioNet, who we just heard from today, we're all over the country. We want to work the way you want to order. So if you're not, our consortia is not available through HeinOnline yet, definitely let us know, and maybe we'll work with them in the future. Okay, what is in HeinOnline? Well, I'm just going to give you a snapshot of some of the integrative resources that are in HeinOnline, some of the collections. Of course, you know us for our journals. You may also know we have a women studies collection. We have civil rights and social justice, LGBTQ rights, religion and the law, military and government. It goes on and on, congressional documents of various sorts. And you can see how we're organized. We're bringing lots of different material into one. The HeinOnline Academic package alone is full of pretty much 40 different collections, all that work with different formats, everything from journals, government documents, and of course, things like case law, not only domestic content, but international content. And the beauty of it is full text, and the beauty of it is fully searchable, and it's old stuff and new stuff integrated in one easy to use package. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Okay,
right,
so
Steve, so
yes, your time.
So, as Steve was going on and talking about the different resources we have in HeinOnline, you could see we had quite a bit of integrative resources. And what does that mean? It means that the content that we have in HeinOnline is not specific to one academic pursuit or one area of research. Our content covers a wide variety of academic disciplines. You can see on the slide right there some of the ones that we pulled out. We have criminal justice, political science, gender studies, history, and religion. But those lists could go on. We could have slides worth. We have existing subscribers now that have programs using HeinOnline, such as nursing, paralegal, engineering, environmental studies, indigenous studies, civil rights, and more. And the beautiful thing about that is that a lot of these different areas of study, at least on the fringes, have areas or areas that overlap in what they're looking at and what they're reading. And the beautiful thing about HeinOnline is that we have that one box search. You can a women's studies or gender studies researcher can go in and use that same research and the same content as someone who's doing paralegal research. All this great information is multifunctional, multidisciplinary, and easy to use.
That's right. And another thing that makes it easier to use is our visual search tools, things like Pathfinder. We were talking about HeinOnline being intuitive. Well, Pathfinder uses machine learning, human curation, and actually some AI to create subject-specific research. And when I say subject-specific, I'm not just talking about the social sciences. You can search HeinOnline in 5 broad, overreaching subjects: humanities, social sciences, natural and formal sciences, applied sciences, and other industries. So the same day I've had people ask about HeinOnline Academic for a fashion-oriented curriculum. I've had the same day someone asked me to use HeinOnline to find out the schism between the Amish and the Mennonites throughout history. I've had people want to do an agribusiness search. I've had people interested in nursing compliance, and all these areas are covered by HeinOnline in our HeinOnline Academic package. Community colleges, large universities, everything in between, prestigious liberal arts colleges, and many of the universities and colleges you know and work with subscribe to HeinOnline. And Pathfinder is going to be the tool that helps you locate the specific aspect of the HeinOnline taxonomy that you need when you're researching any of the 1,500 subjects that HeinOnline covers. Also, I should tell you, there are some other tools that also work to make HeinOnline more intuitive: the keyword search, the more than this search, the Venn diagram tool. And we can show any of these to you in your own personal demo when you have a free trial, for example. You'll be able to see all these intuitive search features that work the way you work. And let me mention some of the different types of publishers that are sort of in here, noteworthy publishers, if you will. Prestigious publishers like Oxford, like De Gruyter, like Johns Hopkins, Taylor and Francis, University of Chicago, University of North Carolina, of course, prestigious journals from Harvard and Yale, and smaller schools, and also different works of think tanks, etc. HeinOnline is diverse, and the type of sources we use are diverse, and we keep adding more and more sources and more publishers among our noteworthy publishers. Time for a quick poll, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, get ready, because this is going to be as good as the last one. Okay, are you prepared? What is your biggest barrier? I'm going to say this loud so you really hear it, okay? Loudly. What is your biggest barrier to purchasing HeinOnline? Is it cost/budget? We have other research databases. We have limited users, research needs, unfamiliar with HeinOnline. Really think about these things and tell us what your biggest barrier is. And I'm not thrilled if your reason is unfamiliar with HeinOnline, because you're getting familiar through this and you'll get more familiar, but you can choose that if you want to. But anyway, let's see what you answer in the poll.
All right, we'll go a few more seconds. We got about 75% of people participating. We're almost to the full group here. I think what's great is we're going to actually talk about a lot of these in the upcoming slides. So
Maybe Steve will yell about them. That'll be good.
That would be good.
The yelling was just, thank you, Tim. The yelling was really about the poll, but if you'd like me to yell in other parts, I can as well.
No, I think we could all agree that you don't need to.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go ahead and end the poll here.
Okay, lots of good answers here. Of course, number one, 49% coming in with cost and budget. We hear that a lot. That's why Hein is great to work with you, because
That's good to hear.
Affordable. Of course, we have other research databases. Doesn't everyone? 40% said that. We have limited users research needs, 6%, and unfamiliar with HeinOnline, 6%. So the big answers are cost and budget, and we have other research databases. So let's zero in on some things to debunk some myths about HeinOnline. Oh, sorry, I am yelling. I'm going to lower my voice now, and it's gonna be more soothing for the rest of the period. Okay, so you'll notice from the Venn diagram, sir, that 64.6% of our subscribers are in fact U.S. four-year institutions. A lot of people think it's mostly U.S. law schools that are our academic subscribers. Yes, it's true. Every ABA accredited U.S. law school subscribes, and that makes up 24.2% of our subscribers. Every single ABA law school subscribes, but that's only 24.2% of our academic subscribers. And in fact, we have many community colleges, two-year institutions, with 11.1% of our subscribers being two-year institutions. So you can see already from this chart, quite a variety, perhaps different than you were thinking just before you got into this session. Okay, now, so you can see our geographic diversity. Notice academic subscribers in green, blue is law school subscribers. Notice there are more academic subscribers in green than law school subscribers, but what you'll also notice is that wherever there's population centers, and even where there aren't large population centers, HeinOnline is all over the place. And our friends in Canada, you'll notice it seems to be a lot in the United States. Well, of course, most of the population centers in Canada are within 100 to 150 miles of the US border, and we've got those covered, as you can see there as well. So between academic subscribers and law school subscribers, big marks in Canada, and we are all over, as well as 150 other countries, by the way, which we can get into as well. So now there's a second myth. HeinOnline is expensive. And so I'm handling this question, right, Tim? Yes.
You sure are, Steve. Doing
Thanks,
a great job.
Tim. So you can notice HeinOnline is based on FTE. So a small community college will pay a lot less than a large four-year institution. Now, the four-year institution, the large four-year institution will pay more than a community college, but much less than other databases. So with HeinOnline, you're talking about as low as 32 cents per FTE, full-time enrollment, and an average cost of $1.47 full-time enrollment per full-time enrollment. So these are very low numbers and worth the investment. Why so many institutions have switched to HeinOnline or even used HeinOnline to augment what they already have, because HeinOnline complements many other databases by filling in gaps they don't fulfill.
All right, Steve. So
yes.
This one's all me here. So some of the things that we've heard in the past is people say, oh, this is HeinOnline is too much content, which it kind of is crazy for us, but we can understand where you're coming from. HeinOnline Academic has 40 plus databases of multidisciplinary content, and it can look like a lot. And some people feel like, well, I don't need to pay for all this extra stuff. Well, in reality, the extra is the gravy, right? So if you think about what your standard kind of historical big library looks like, there's all those books on the shelves that maybe they're not being used at any weekly or monthly, but they're there, they're holding their place, they're there in case that one particular patron comes in and they need to find that nugget of information that's held within those books. Well, that's what HeinOnline is. We are able to serve your whole library community, everyone from that faculty librarian, or I'm sorry, that faculty member who's researching some obscure area of history, to that brand new freshman student who's learning just how to do real research for the first time. That vast array of material that we offer can provide a true valuable resource to that whole scope of people that are using your library on a daily basis. So that's why we have so much content in HeinOnline, and that's why it's priced so effectively, like Steve just talked about.
Tim, we have a question here. Do you have a title list of the journals included in HeinOnline, and do they have embargo periods?
Yeah, actually, that's a great question. So we do have a title lists available, and we can send them out to you. They are also available on the HeinOnline website. So if you were to go to, for example, the HeinOnline Academic website, the specific website, each individual database within that within HeinOnline Academic has its own web page, and those title lists are broken down. I believe we have them in, well, they're in KBART format, and they're available in text file, CSV, and Excel sheet or HTML. But if you look at the KBART file, it includes the embargoes for the titles that do have embargoes, and specifically about talking about embargoes, we have a very small percentage of the titles that have embargoes, and in fact those embargoes tend to be dropping off over time, because publishers are realizing that embargoes aren't really kind of working for anyone anymore.
Yes, in fact, just to add to that, Tim, over 90% of our journals go all the way to the current issue or bound volume. And now listen to this, every single journal on HeinOnline goes all the way back to issue number 1. So this is a big contrast with some other databases. Yes, they may have some of the current journals, some of the same journals we have, but they don't always go all the way back to the very beginning. So we're giving you the historical material, and in most cases, we're giving you the current material. As we said, there is a small number that have an embargo, but we're constantly going through our contracts to get rid of those. And so more and more, you're going to see no embargo. And also another thing that Tim mentioned, that we have that KBART file and you can get it. Well, you better get a copy of that journal list every single month from us, because we're constantly adding even more journals to it. We never take journals away. We keep adding more journals every single month. So the list is growing all of the time. So just be aware of that as well.
We also have a question. Is there a way to pay per faculty member until I'm able to get the university to sign off on buying a subscription? And I think that would speak to our very long trial periods, which we are about to jump into in just a minute.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, we have we offer for HeinOnline Academic a 6-month trial period. So that is a great way to kind of get access started for your entire institution. So our trials are, they're university, college wide. Everyone can use it. Remote access is included, and the full database is available to you. So we offer that so you can really kick the tires on the database, make sure it suits your needs as much as we feel it will. Obviously you're going to be you and your community are going to be the ones that are going to be using it. So we want to make sure that it suits you. So I think that could be an opportunity for you to kind of get that ball rolling and have access while you get your the powers that be on board. Now it looks like our competitive advantage, and this is one thing that we were talking about. So one of the competitive advantages of HeinOnline, as Steve mentioned just a moment ago, is that we have the full run of all of our periodicals. So that means that we go back to day 1, issue 1, volume 1 of all of the periodicals that we have in HeinOnline. So what we're looking at here on this slide is a top 100 journals comparison we did a few years ago. Now, these numbers will have changed over time because as Steve also mentioned, we've been adding content regularly on a monthly basis, but they are kind of representative of the difference of coverage that HeinOnline has versus some other databases that you may be used to using. So on the left-hand side of the screen here, you can see the cumulative number of full text volumes available from the top 100 journals, the top 100 most cited journals from Washington Lee University's ranking. So at the time of our comparison, HeinOnline had 6,408 full text volumes available, and the next closest number was almost half at 3,276, and then it just went down from there. So you can see, in terms of the full text volumes, we are head and shoulders above any other databases that were available at the time and continue to be. On the right hand side of the screen, the number of most cited articles available in full text. So this is, articles that have been ranked as being most cited. Out of 100, we had 99 of them. The next closest number was down to 63, so almost nearly a third less. And again, the numbers continued to drop after that. So while this is just specific to the journal's content that HeinOnline has available in the database, these numbers could be extrapolated out to represent the rest of the material that HeinOnline has available throughout all of HeinOnline Academic. And then some testimonials. So obviously we're doing a lot of talking here, but we don't want you to take our word for it. We have customers that are ready and willing to put their name and their statements out there for us to say that they love our product. So this one is the first one from Mary Hollerick at the library director of Augsburg University. She says, "I have to say, no one is more surprised than I am at the amount of use HeinOnline gets here at Augsburg. When you first contacted me a few years ago, I was reluctant to even set up a trial because we don't have a law school or even a paralegal program. When you offered to do a 6-month trial, in all honesty, I thought, sure, we'll try it for 6 months and then cancel when no one uses it. Boy, was I wrong. Every month I look at our usage stats and I am pleasantly surprised to see how many articles were downloaded. We calculate cost per use based on the number of downloads for all of our full text resources. In the case of HeinOnline, that translates to articles. And HeinOnline is consistently among our 10 lowest cost per use resources." I couldn't say it better myself, Mary. And one more, just another representative of, or someone speaking highly of HeinOnline, John Popadek from Youngstown State. HeinOnline is such a wealth of information on many different subject areas. Students love using this resource as it is very user-friendly. And as the primary contact for our library, I love that it is easy to get in touch with the staff of HeinOnline for any questions I may have. They're always quick with a reply and are extremely helpful. Would recommend for any library. Well, I would have to concur with John. I do agree that we are helpful and easy to get a hold of. You can always email myself, Steve, Lauren, or anyone in our HeinOnline support department, and we will help you as soon as we possibly can with any questions, comments, concerns, feedback that we can possibly do.
And now that brings us to the trial that we're offering, a 6-month free trial, no obligation. It's 6 months of unlimited campus-wide access. So you simply give us your IP range. We use IP authentication, and you get campus-wide access for your faculty, students, and librarians. And you can use HeinOnline as much as you want. There is no obligation at the end of the 6-month trial. There's no obligation to order it that year. There's no obligation where an invoice comes. It is truly a free trial for you for a long time to consider and look at HeinOnline and see what it brings to your school. We want you to know that after the 6-month trial, there's a special 50% first-year discount if you subscribe. So we make it even more affordable the first year. So after your 6-month trial, you should know that we want you to have remote access, especially since COVID. Our biggest users sometimes are remote. IP and proxy authentication is both available. We also work with Open Athens, by the way. We want you to know that even during the trial, we have live chat available Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, full phone support. And that's Eastern time, by the way, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. We can do a personalized demo for you. We can do multiple personalized demos for you where we really show you the actual database and you can really see the different advantages. And just to remind you, the trial is risk-free. I should tell you, when the trial's going on, don't just tell your political science people, your criminal justice people, tell your nursing department, tell your education department, tell your history department. Sometimes the unexpected faculty are the biggest users. That happens over and over again. People thought one department was going to use HeinOnline, another department is even more dependent on it, and they had never even heard of HeinOnline before getting the free trial. So just be aware of that. And without further ado, let's just remind you how to contact us. 800-255-9899 9129 is our phone number. Of course, marketing is for our email address, marketing@wshein.com. Our domain name is wshein.com. You could put S Roses for Steve Roses in there. You could put Tim Hoagie, THOOGE at WSHein. By the way, someone's asking us about having access to case law. Yes, HeinOnline has case law, and if you get a free trial, you will be able to get the case law access as well. That's another thing we haven't mentioned.
It's included with HeinOnline Academic.
If
So,
you have it,
yeah.
go ahead, Steve.
Oh, no. Yes, and let us know if you have any questions, because we're still here ready to answer any of your chat questions, and we want this to be informative. You know, you can even ask us tough questions like, what do you have that other databases don't have? What is your, you know, really specific questions, you know,
We
down there.
We do have one here that says, we have Lexis and West. Why do I need another database?
Well, one first question is, why do you need Westlaw and Lexis at the same time? Because in many ways, those two databases are repetitive of each other. But I can tell you the way that HeinOnline augments both of them. There's no religion collection on either of them. HeinOnline constantly adding new collections. We have a whole new military and government collection that's in there. We just have a whole new LGBTQ collection that's not in any of those other databases. And we keep adding more and more to this. We just keep going on. And as a result of the amount of material that we have, we keep reaching new audiences, from medical schools that subscribe, to business schools that subscribe, to fashion schools. It just goes on and on.
Any technical schools?
And technical schools, many technical schools. In fact, the best and largest technical schools to the smallest technical schools.
We have, is HeinOnline user-friendly, more user-friendly than Westlaw?
Well, that is obviously, user friendliness is a matter of subjective opinion. And in many ways, I used to work for Westlaw. I will tell you that it is in many ways user friendly. I can tell you, when it comes to the bang for the buck, as far as the application to an undergrad education situation, HeinOnline is just giving you the most value. And yes, in many cases, Westlaw is confusing. Someone just mentioned that. What are the other questions?
Have you thought about adding some law information for more technical areas such as construction, construction management, or civil engineering, etc.?
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because we do have a lot of material on construction law, lots of journal articles, in-depth material, both historical and current. So we already have a lot of that. And of course, because we're constantly adding new information, chances are we'll be adding even more of that. But it's because of our technical information that, you know, think of the most prestigious institute of technology in the country, the 2 or 3 of them, they all subscribe. Think of some of the others, they subscribe. So yes, we do have a lot of that kind of information. Yes, we do have litigation material.
And we should mention that one of the primary ways that we build and grow this database is through customer feedback. So if there's material that you would like to see us add, anything from specific titles to areas of study, please let us know. Reach out to marketing@wshein.com, and if we can add it, we will do our absolute best to add it, because we want to serve you better. So many of the features, many of the ways that HeinOnline works is a direct result of the feedback that we've received from the people using the database every day.
We had a question about state codes. Should I take that question, or do you want to take it, Tim?
Go ahead, Steve, if you want.
Part of the trial. So we give you a trial of HeinOnline Academic. We also give you Fastcase on HeinOnline, Fastcase Premium on HeinOnline as part of the trial, as well as the individual state package that correlates to your state. So if you're calling from Illinois, for example, you would get a trial of the Illinois state package, and that's where you're going to have historical state statutes from Illinois, session laws, all the way to current, but also going back to pre-statehood, etc., attorney general materials. So yes, we have those materials.
We have a question about California Nursing Board litigation.
That one I don't know off the top of my head. We would have, I personally would have to kind of dig into the database and see if what we have for that area of research.
Is there any other questions?
Should we allow 30 more seconds for questions?
Sure.
All we need, you could email the company to sign up for a free trial. Just let us know if you want a free trial. You could use that marketing@wshein.com email if you want. And just let us know you want the 6-month free trial. Let us know your name and position. And also, please supply your IP range and your proxy information or Open Athens. And we can set up the trial within 1 to 2 days usually. We can set up the trial for you, and it will go 6 months from the date the trial starts.
And
Yeah.
we will also have a follow-up email with the ability to set up your trial that way as well.
All right. Well, thank you all. It was a pleasure.
Yes, thank you for spending your afternoon with us.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Have a great day, everyone.